My name's Abby and I go to Rosary Catholic Primary School.
Arts education has had a bit of a tough time over the last 10-15 years. We've seen schools struggle to deliver really high quality arts education.
I think it is really being squeezed out of the curriculum, and it's such an important vehicle for learning about different cultures, different times.
We wrote the Camden Education Strategy a few years ago. A central part of that strategy is around the arts and music, and we have a section around flourishing lives. We want all our children at school to have flourishing lives.
We have a wonderful Camden Music Festival, and every kid in Camden comes and sings and plays instruments in the Albert Hall. And that's 1 year, and then we have a gap. And I had to say, well, we can fill this gap with an arts biennale.
This is about embedding high-quality art provision in school. The whole process of the Biennale is a great vehicle for raising the profile of art and raising the status of art.
Children learn better when things are more connected and make sense of each other, and certainly the best practice I've ever been part of in my career is where art was very much part of that.
All parts of our society, all jobs, all industries need people to be able to think creatively, to see the world in a different way, to imagine better futures, different services, new types of products. And so whether people are going to end up in highly technical jobs or in managerial jobs or in retail, I think being able to develop those creative competencies and skills really matters.
It's about giving people the chance and to value art as a subject and to make it central in any curriculum.
When you put work in a space like this where it's valued and it's enhanced and it's really handled professionally and with great care, it just shines.
It's just elevated it and made it something very special. And the sad truth is it's not very special in our schools at the moment. Not because teachers don't want it to be, just because of the accountability pressures and the amount of other stuff they have to do.
Are we going to lose the fun and the creativity because we're so fixated on where we've got to get to and what we've got to do? Well, I don't want that.
What did it feel like to see your artwork in a big space with lots of other art?
It made me really proud because I put lots of work into my art.
Did you ever think that you would be in a show like this?
No.
Something special happens when
We received over 350 artworks from across Camden, over 50 schools, and it was a real job to draw out the themes that were present in the work, how we could pull it together in a way that would make sense to the public and also help them to engage with what children care about, what they're thinking about.
We can see early years, or we can see special schools, hospital schools, right next to A-level submissions, and it's absolutely brilliant the way it's been themed, and it's very thought-provoking, moving, and some of the pieces are actually really very powerful.
We have a cluster all around abstraction, colour, shape. We also have a whole area around storytelling. Another theme that comes out a lot in the show is identity and representation. And you can really see how there's a relationship between the tradition of portraiture and also selfie culture.
But when you see things begin to be grouped by theme, what I reflect upon is that young people are brilliant at intuiting things about the world. I think they have a deep sense of ethic and care. You see it in the work around care for the planet, care for nature.
It's so interesting to see how children today are connecting with the landscape tradition, but from the point of view of a love but also a heartbreak around what's happening to our natural world. And so alongside really beautiful studies of flowers and plants, we also have placards, banners and also garments that children might wear to a march or a protest. With the questions that we have populated the space with, we're keen to draw out of the artworks and out of the visitors what art means to people, what art can do, what it can be.
The title of my work is Flows of Abstraction. It's a mix of different medias that I've worked with, so ceramics, crochet, linoprint. They all represent some type of abstraction.
We have been completely overwhelmed and overjoyed by how popular the exhibition has been so far. We have hundreds of people coming every day. The majority is school groups, and they've either explored the show on their own, or they've used our activity sheets, or they've joined a workshop, as well as the general public and families on the weekend.
We're seeing parents come down that perhaps wouldn't normally come to a gallery, and often we see that their children are bringing them in. And the way the thing has been curated is that a lot of the pieces are at eye level for children. So it's not all high up. So they're running in and they're showing their parents different pieces of art that the children can really relate to.
And then there's like, my dog is Spotty.
Oh, we wouldn't know your dog is Spotty unless you told us.
A week late is a night of performances and workshops to celebrate 16 to 18-year-olds whose work is here, and to give a bit of like hope and inspiration to kids about like having a career in the arts if they wanted to, or seeing that their work is important. We have 2 performers, the first of which is a massive puppet.
We've also planned a mask making workshop, and it's been really amazing to see all the young kids come up with interesting masks.
It can be perceptions that things are not for me, not for you, or not for my family, and I think it's important that we make space, and hopefully we can do that every 2 years and make space for all the young people of Camden to see that the arts and a cultural life can be for them, but also as a right that they should be able to explore and enjoy, whether that's formally in education or just as part of their lives as they grow older.
More exhibits like this would be great. It really encourages mothers like me that don't have an interest in art, but it's an eye-opener to start somewhere, and this is lovely.
So many young people just would never have access to spaces like this, but to feel part of it, to feel ownership of it, I think it can change the way they feel about themselves and their futures.
Wow, look where it leads. My little monster can become that portrait.
It's really exciting, and I'm glad, and I'm feeling like I'm famous. That was actually one of my dreams, and I want to be a designer, and that is one step forward for that.
It's amazing. Approaching like the hall and seeing the sign, for me it's like, wow.
Inspiration is the key word though, isn't it? It's inspiring for teachers, it's inspiring for the policy makers and politicians, we hope, and very inspiring for the children too. Yeah.
We want all of our children to pursue passions and interests that benefit their well-being and them as whole people, and not just all of the exam results.
When I think about our Camden schools and all our Camden children and young people, the one thing that absolutely stands out is the diversity of backgrounds.
The art room or the art project is often the place where the broadest diversity of young people find their voice.
I think the catalyst for these children and these young people, their artwork being at Central St Martin's, it's huge. You never know, they're going to come back here and become students and then become artists, and it all started here.
I hope that this inspires, thousands, tens of thousands of children, and this catches on and goes to many other parts of the country.
This show feels like a source of joy and hope because it is the work of our future artists and our future leaders too.
My primary hope is that this just becomes a thing, that it happens every 2 years and people are saying, what date's the Biennale this year?
It feels like just the beginning of something really quite extraordinary for the borough.
It's that collective spirit in Camden, the collective rebellious spirit, which allows us to dream up impossible things, and because we work together and can draw strength from each other, we can do it.
Give me a clap and join my hand. Let me hear you as strong as you can.